You fucking serious?
Yeah. That's exactly.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Requiem for a Tuesday. Justice joins me yet again, third week in a row, bud.
You like me.
Starting the new year off right. Before we get in, let's just make some announcements, shall we? As of this episode, we're entering year 4 of Requiem for a Tuesday. Can you believe it?
Damn. Round of applause for that one. Yeah, that's honestly, congrats.
I guess. I mean, it's really just a matter of committing the time. It's not really an achievement.
That goes to show, just for our viewers or listeners.
I don't want to be friends with you no more, Justice. I just want to focus on my podcast.
Like I've got nothing better to do with me feckin' time.
I'm surprised we're both just snapping into it that well, honestly. I didn't practice at all.
But yeah, year 4. Year 4 and they just...
Exponential growth only, baby. So end of year 1.
Exponential growth only.
End of year 2, I should say. Doubled. End of year 1. Now that we're at the end of year 3, end of year 3, doubled year 2. So let's keep it rolling.
That's pretty sick.
Ego, baby. We got to double up by next year. Tell your friends. Rate, review, subscribe. Check out the merch. RFAT.BigCartel.com.
Check your ego. Or are you rowing?
Links in the description below.
Wait. So
One further announcement.
Adam didn't see Avatar yet.
Well, another further announcement. I'm trying. It might happen next week. Speaking of next week, Justice is joining me and Ricky, friend of the show, in Memphis, Tennessee, baby, this week. So possibly, most likely, no episode next week. Get your boo-hoos out the way now.
Road sodas. Stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll do a recap episode for sure, which means Justice.
The juice might bring his stuff, you know.
You're bringing it back again.
I intend on such.
All right.
Content growth only. Exponential content growth only. Road sodas.
Although we're taking the train, doesn't really count as a road sodas.
Yeah, that we could just reformat it for like TikTok, you know.
Ugh. Not interested.
I know you're not. That's why it'll be fun.
Just because you want the Chinese to take your data does not mean that you need me to be a part of it.
Well,
I don't need to be in their algorithms.
you're gonna be.
I already am. I use Alibaba.
It's like Amazon.
I got this bag for $2.99.
Like
$1.99.
So it's like Uniqlo and Amazon smushed together.
I don't know what Uniqlo is.
Wait, who did you say? The Chinese data? They're taking our data? I got it wrong then. I think Uniqlo is like a Japanese company.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a Target, I guess.
Okay.
Comparable to a Target.
Alibaba is like Amazon but bigger.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you can get like custom shit done. You find just like the factories that make bags, and you'll be like, just make me the bag I want, and they'll be like, all right.
Oh,
yeah.
Discounts on bulk?
Absolutely.
That's pretty sick.
Minimums
I
as
think
well. You
I
can't
would
afford
rather
it.
support Alibaba before I support Amazon. So that seems like some good insights for me.
Would you rather do that?
Maybe. I don't know what's going on with Alibaba.
Yeah, right.
So maybe I spoke too
I don't
soon.
think you want to find out either.
I think I spoke too soon.
Yeah, I would say so.
There's plenty of reasons as an American to not like Amazon, but I unfortunately do still order from
But there's
them.
more reasons as an American to not like China.
Therefore, I should just keep supporting Amazon, is what you're saying.
USA, baby. Unless you only want to spend $2.99 on a bag, $1.99.
Then you can just flex your American more and just buy it from somewhere else.
I just bought a fake Apple Watch off Alibaba as well.
Watch out, Paramount might still be listening. So
True.
That's a callback from our last episode, our last 2 episodes actually, because we did a Top Gun Maverick episode twice.
That's true.
Pretty sick stuff.
Double perspective. Really next level podcast stuff nobody's doing.
in hindsight now, I wish I talked a little bit more about how odd that tan job was. Like, I don't know.
You talked about it a lot.
I don't know
already.
Tom Cruise.
It's the only thing you mentioned, really.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you
I'm
were
laying back into it.
You were really upset.
That
with
other
his
guy's
tan.
rooster stash, though, so good.
It's what you wish you had.
It is. It
Your
really
stashes
is.
are weak.
My stashes don't. Yeah.
They don't curl up. You
I
don't get
understand.
long
I
hairs.
don't have chest hair. I don't have a mustache.
You
I don't.
have-
My beard doesn't connect to my fucking sideburns, so therefore I really don't even have sideburns.
Really, my mustache doesn't connect to my beard. So
That
I can only have like chin straps.
I think that works better than it not connecting at all.
That's true.
Because I'll never rock a beard just because it doesn't look right. Some people have been like, no, it's okay, but then they're like,
Yeah, your facial hair is real bushy and patchy.
it's kind of gross.
Well, mine's all stringy and long. It looks like pasta hanging from my face.
You got pasta and I've got pubes, so at least the pasta's edible a little bit. You can chew on them a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of pasta,
Yeah, where are we going?
let's get into our first
Jesus
topic
Christ.
today. The restaurant horror thriller,
Someone said earlier it was
The
like
Menu.
Midsummer, but for foodies.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
It was good.
Who said it?
Yeah. Kelsey, one of Hannah's friends.
I take it back. Terrible take. I'm kidding.
I mean, I liked Midsummer more.
Midsummer wasn't very good. The Menu I would rather watch again for sure.
I'd rather watch Midsummer again.
That's because are you being like an annoying cook guy about this? That's why I was surprised that you didn't like it. Are you being like that's not how a kitchen works?
That is how a kitchen works.
Well, I know, right? So that's why I'm shocked.
on
especially.
it's
It's like if The
on a
Bear
cult
was
way,
truly
on
a
a cult
horror
level.
movie.
kind of.
It's like
There was more
It's
than
like
they were
the-
not just a kitchen. They were like
it's
they all
Joel
slept
McHale's
together. It
part
was
in
wild.
The Bear.
What do you mean?
Remember when Joel McHale was in The Bear? They showed him in his old life at his 5-star restaurant. That's what The Menu's like.
Yeah, it's like where he worked.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the intensity. And also, everybody fucks everybody in kitchens, so I don't know why you're acting like that's different.
No. It's not the fucking that I'm talking about. It's just like where when they showed their sleeping quarters in The Menu, and like it was like a heavily influenced
Well, that's because it's on an
experience.
island.
Right. That was not just. They're not just. I'm not saying that. Okay, wait. Circle back to you're like I don't know why you didn't like it because it's like are you just saying it because you were a cook? It's not really like that. I don't think that it was cool to see the food. The food was the best part of the movie. But I didn't like I don't know, it was just kind of like it felt all over the place very quick and kind of silly
But it was a satirical movie.
I guess I didn't pick up on how satirical it was supposed to be.
It was mostly a comedy, I feel like.
I agree.
Yeah. So it wasn't like supposed to be this really dramatic thriller. Okay, let's backtrack a little bit.
That's pretty cool.
Let's recap.
That makes me like it more.
So
Yeah.
So
Give me the debrief on The Menu.
So it starts off this whore and this guy show up. They don't reveal she's a whore right away, but she's a whore.
Not until I'm 3/4 of the way, right?
Yeah, but you could tell that they were like on a first date type deal by the way they were acting. Nicholas Hoult of Skins, that's all I'll ever think of him as, no matter how many things he's been in. I think that's his name.
Yeah.
And Anya Taylor-Joy, a true gem.
She's fucking awesome.
What a doll.
Amazing.
As well as
I don't know.
Ray Fiennes as the chef. Fantastic stuff. Great cast. Anyway, they show up. It's a 3 Michelin star tour de force restaurant located on a private island. Very exclusive. All of these people were invited for this one special night in which
That there has been more of as well. It's like a yearly, it seems like an annual event of some kind, right?
no, this is just a well-established restaurant that's hard to get into, and these people were just invited for a private event.
Got it.
Yeah. And it is slowly revealed throughout the movie that the chef has lost his mind and had a psychotic break, and everybody there is a target, and he's going to kill them all.
They were selected as such as well.
They were invited. That's what I said.
Right, and
That's what that
he had
means.
the mental break before the dinner had actually occurred. Well, which is I think is
I don't think anything that I'm saying is confusing.
No, I think it's
exactly what I just explained.
When I guess when I started watching it, or when as it was unfolding, I thought like, oh, he's like slowly breaking, you know?
No, the whole thing was predetermined.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't that.
You just didn't pay attention. Is basically what you're saying.
That whole. How do I?
Great stuff here, buddy. Everybody's really entertained.
I'm just trying to. I'm trying to remember the movie a little bit more now.
Great. Well, I'll keep going then, and you can stop just.
Oh no! Please.
Umming into the microphone.
Please continue.
Anyway, so then it's just slowly revealed throughout the thing, basically, that each person's shitty in some way, and then he'll kind of reveal why he invited them there and the wrongdoing that they did to him as to why they were chosen as victims. And the concept that they give is that every course is supposed to connect into the next course, and then the whole course tells a story, and that them dying is necessary to like elevate the course. Now, to me, this is the weakest part of the movie because the menu itself isn't really interconnected that tightly by like the third course. It kind of loses that momentum. I guess the whole idea is that they bail on that narrative once they start killing people, and then it doesn't really matter anymore. So in defense of the movie, I guess that's fine. But I was expecting that part of the movie would be a puzzle as to why the menu interconnects, and there's like a reveal as to why they're all going to die in that aspect as well. And that just doesn't really happen. Like, it's like an empty puzzle that doesn't piece together. Now, the final course is like a s'mores dish, and the whole restaurant becomes the s'mores. That's clever and that's funny.
Yeah.
And I liked that, but it just
Super
didn't
sick.
it just didn't all tie together. So that's what I didn't like. But I did feel that it was like every dish was like gorgeous. Like
Yeah.
it seemed like this was like I believed everything about it, that this was this established of a restaurant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like normally in a movie I feel like you don't see that.
Yeah.
Like a true dining experience. That's what I said about the bear. I was like, no kitchen's ever been portrayed for real like this. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's like, oh, Bradley Cooper's yelling a lot. And it's like, yeah, everybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'll always make it like, oh, this is the star chef and this is the thing.
Is that Burnt that you were referencing? Is that what that's called? With Bradley Cooper as the chef?
Yes.
It's like one of the first
Right.
popular kitchen movies or whatever.
Right. But wasn't it still tacky and lame and it was like a
Yeah.
romance movie or something?
It was more like about his alcoholism and his drug problem than it was about like
the
cooking.
kitchen itself.
Right,
Right,
right.
exactly.
It was about him like coming back to it.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Or fucking, what's his name? Tubby Boy?
Danny McBride.
No, that's mean. Jon Favreau, he did a chef movie where he works in
the food truck thing.
Yeah.
But it's a restaurant at some point, yeah.
Yeah, but also that movie's like about his family or whatever. It's never like about the restaurant.
Yeah.
Ratatouille's like the best example of a restaurant movie.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like maybe still is.
And this is the presentation for the dishes were all really cool.
And
what
it
is the
seemed
thing
like
that
it
they
seemed
serve him
like-
when he's in the chicken coop?
I don't
When
remember.
he's like hiding, and they're like, deviled egg. He's like, yeah, sure. He's like, oh my god.
But yeah, they all seem like really high-end dishes that they would serve at like Next or something.
Mhm.
You know, like it is really and it's all like beautifully shot and constructed because the guy who directed this does Succession, which is beautifully directed. He does like a ton of episodes, not all of them.
Yeah.
But it all made sense why it was so well shot and everything.
Mm.
But it was great. I would say when the one cook, like the one course was like this guy's mistake or something, and then the cook comes up and like gives a little speech, and then he just fucking shoots himself in the head.
Yeah.
Incredible. I was in. I was like, this is going places. You know? But then, yeah, it was like goofy at times, like the John Leguizamo stuff, but I feel like it never really took itself that seriously to begin with, is the thing. To me, the issue is more with like the looseness of the plot. Like you said, like it's not tight.
Yeah. What you were saying
Since
earlier
it's
makes
like
sense.
comedic, though, it kind of doesn't really matter. But it's so well made and shot and acted and everything that's why I like want it to be more concise, I guess.
As the deaths start intertwining, or as the deaths start with the dishes,
Like piling up, right.
and everybody starts to panic, it seems like the way that they were all supposed to fit together, like the puzzle, was supposed to work if nobody freaked out. You know what I mean?
Right, like nobody was... yeah, that's the
They
thing.
designed it so that they were supposed to think the entire time that it was going to be
fine.
a fine...
And it was
like
all a show.
Yes,
Right.
yes. But then very quickly, because of the one girl that, number one, didn't... Like, what's her name again? Her name is Erin as her real name, I thought.
What?
Yeah.
We don't care about characters' names on
But
this show.
Anna's Taylor...
Anya.
Her character is the one that's actually not supposed to be there.
Right, that's the thing.
That's why it goes so bad so fast, I think.
Yes,
and people
it did
don't
throw
stay
everything off.
Convinced.
You're right.
Which...
So, yeah, she was put in place of somebody else that was invited with Nicholas Hoult, and he brought her as a hooker instead because she bailed, basically.
Yeah.
And the chef reveals, like, your invite told you we were going to kill you. And she's like, what the fuck,
I never saw
dude?
an invite. Right, exactly.
She's like, I thought he was just taking me to this bougie dinner.
Yeah.
And basically he plays a foodie who's really annoying and knows every little thing about every little thing but can't actually cook himself. Great stuff.
Yeah, his character was one of the best.
They nail so many tropes very well.
The well-established couple that just picks apart everything but doesn't cook, That whole thing.
Oh, well, the old couple goes to nice restaurants all the time just because they have money, but they don't actually enjoy or appreciate it.
Right.
He asked them to name one thing they've eaten there before.
And
they'd been there like 30 times.
Awful.
And like he also made the point to explain that like most people get to go once in their life. Like they're the only people who have been there remotely that many times.
Right.
And then like John Leguizamo's character was just an actor who made a movie the guy hated, So it was just like varying degrees. Whereas like those other guys were like financial fraud guys, remember? Like some people it made more sense for them to be there, and some people it was just comedy. So that's just what I mean. Like, it was inconsistent. Because when it was really serious as a thriller, it would be really intense. But then it would just kind of break. And not that I don't mind both. The tone was just inconsistent, I guess, is my complaint.
Maybe that's why I had such a hard time reading how satirical it was and how it wasn't taking itself that seriously. Because in my head, the tone of it was all supposed to be very serious.
At first, it definitely is presented that way. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not great at telling you what it is.
But because of that, because that's how I felt going into it, the funny moments were like really good. Like
right.
Like the getting the egg in the chicken coop or whatever the dish was, and like all the little shit that they would say back and forth. Like I feel like all of the little... They seemed like ad-libs into the script, but if what you're telling me is true, and it's supposed to be like a satirical, then they were all so purposeful, but they felt so loose and like they were kind of unwinding throughout the meal, even though people were dying and shit. It was weird. It was so weird.
I mean, it's a weird movie in general. I do like the concept. I don't know how much better you could have done with it, really.
Yeah. I would watch. I'm going to watch it again now.
See, you've completely reverted. Yeah. It was good. It was entertaining. See, like I thought Midsummer was boring. If we're comparing it to that, I thought that movie was boring and way too long.
This was so quick. And this movie was so fast.
And the intro to Midsummer was like so embarrassingly generic
It was
and overacted and ridiculous that it
Very
threw me off
cringe.
right away. Yeah, a lot of
very
cringe.
cringe.
And yes, the menu is much faster.
Yeah.
It's shot out of a cannon. We're just starting. There's no backstory in it at all. Like, they reveal some throughout the movie. That is how Anya Taylor-Joy gets away for the ending. We didn't reveal that. She goes through like his personal shit in like his private room there, and just sees him like happy when he's working at like a burger joint. So she asks him to make a burger because nobody would ever ask him that.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's this bougie 5-star crazy chef making crazy shit, and he, you know, he's in the middle of a psychotic break, so it gets to him and it works, and he lets her go. And good for her. She shouldn't have been there anyway.
Exactly. That was why he did that.
No, if she wouldn't have said the right thing to him, he still would have just burned it down with her inside.
God, yes, that's true.
Yeah, she connected with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Which
cheeseburger is the significance of that, or
Correct.
is the representation of that, because I agree.
Right.
And that cheeseburger looked like the best thing on the
It
whole
looked
menu.
incredible. Yeah, it looked so good.
Yeah. It made me want a burger really bad.
Yeah, for sure. So overall,
Like a steak and shake burger.
high recommend. I think it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's not going to win an Oscar.
7 out of 10.
Yeah. Solid 7. We'll watch again.
Dank. That's a
Definitely dank. The food movie,
Yeah.
you need to do a microwave.
Of the menu.
Yeah, you need to like break. You should make each dish yourself and do, you know what I mean? At least a couple, maybe just one even. Like whatever the biggest one is, and do it on your show.
Yeah, that's
Something
a
to
good
think
idea.
about.
Yeah.
Something to
Yeah,
think about.
yeah. Well, that could be the TikToks that we work on all weekend.
You can do whatever TikToks you want, buddy.
Microwave minute here. Road soda.
Gross.
I'm making the menu.
You're going to tarnish my brand.
Killing hookers.
That doesn't make sense. Well, that's on brand. So let's pivot
One weekend only.
to another island.
We're pivoting. Yes, we are.
Little island off the coast of Ireland. Lassie.
Gee, Adam, what are you fucking talking about?
If you let me fucking finish, you fucking cocksucker, I lost it. It's hard. It's hard, people. Like one quick sentence, you slip it out of there, but it's hard to keep it.
The Banshees of Inisherin.
A beautiful piece of music, I'm sure.
Yes.
Did they ever play the full song? Probably at the credits.
I think you can listen to it. They have the score available on everywhere you get sound.
Wonderful. Just a joyous, beautiful little film.
Actually, it is beautiful, and it's
The
small
shots
world,
are
very small world.
unbelievable. Showing just a completely different side of life. Small island off the coast of Ireland.
And
These people got nothing.
according to the director's cut, I think is the name of the podcast. They did an interview with the director. What's his name again?
Martin McDonough.
He all of it was shot on the west coast of Ireland, and a couple of different pieces. That house that Colm lives in, they built for the movie.
Oh, nice.
And that ending, the fire, is
Real?
all movie magic. No, it's all cinema.
Oh, they
It's all
just.
cinematography. They all like edited it in, I think, or something.
You mean CGI?
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. What did I say?
Movie magic?
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Kind of. Not really. No.
How do you define movie magic? How do you define movie magic? Other than the loss of limbs.
Well,
in this
movie magic is a thing where like they make you think something is happening, but it isn't.
Correct.
It's like by making like a 3D like a 3-dimensional building is there, but it's really not. That's movie magic. CGI is not. It's the opposite of that. That's just called CGI. Special effects.
I understand.
Yeah, and cinematography is camera work, so it's definitely not
So is all of the above, but all were used incorrectly by me.
correct.
Got it. So it was CGI.
So this tells the story of a lonely town called Inisherin, Colin Farrell and his best bud drink beers all day, all night, and then they go to sleep and do it again. There's about 30 people on the island, max, maybe. There's only like 6 characters. They're all very sad, and none of them can express it. Old Irish repression at its finest. Everybody's deeply troubled in their own way, pretty much except Colin Farrell, because he's just such a dunce that he's just like, I'm having a great fucking time. I can't say feckin' now. It keeps slipping out of the accent. Anyway.
But he's not. He's just a nice guy.
That's the thing. He's just a nice guy.
He can't be just a nice guy and not be feckin' dem.
And that's correct. One day he goes to his buddy's house and he says, I don't want to hang with you anymore. And his heart's broken. And the whole movie is basically him trying to win his buddy back. And his buddy does not want him to be won back. He means what he says. He wants to be left alone. And he says, you keep fucking trying to talk to me, buddy. I'm going to cut my fingers off. And then he does, one by one. Now, this movie, it's a little absurd based on what I just said. Sure. But it's well shot, set during the Irish Civil War, which I still don't really understand what that was all about, to be honest. Every time I try to read into it, it doesn't make any sense. You have to click like a bunch of sub-articles to get even more information. It's tricky.
From our last episode, we were talking about North Ireland, Northern Ireland,
Correct.
and the rest, and Southern Ireland.
It's just called Ireland.
Ireland, right? Is that correlating to that war?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Just making sure that the lines are at least dotted
Correct.
to the right places
Yes.
for me.
Yep.
So,
They sure are.
So, a lot of beautiful imagery.
The scenery is breathtaking.
Yeah. The way that the animals kind of like coexist.
The
at
donkey's
that time.
amazing.
What a cute fucking donkey.
Love the donkey.
He's actually a pony, as he corrected in the movie. Actually,
He's
like,
not a donkey.
Yeah, that little thing is a pony.
It's
And-
like a mini horse.
Right, and he
Oh.
at the very beginning, right as they were, what is his name? As Colm was being like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. He's like, you talked to me for like 2 hours about your donkey shit. And
Oh,
he's like,
right.
I'll have you know that's my pony shit. So I don't know. I thought it was a donkey too, but then he said it was a pony. But he has multiple animals, so it might be a donkey that we're talking about because it very much looked like an ass.
Did you prepare that?
No.
Seemed like you recited that from memory. You're like, I gotta get this out. I gotta get it out.
My bit about an ass.
Yeah.
It wasn't. That wasn't at all.
Impressive.
I loved that was one of my favorite parts about the scenery was like, oh, these beautiful wide shots, and there's just like a donkey right there, a pony, or the cows too. They were cool.
Yeah.
So pretty.
A lot of good animals in the
Great
movie.
Oh, the
Great
dog. Yes.
Great dog.
Great dog. It's the best thing about him.
And yeah, he just wants to play his violin.
Which totally makes sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It
You can hang out with your boy for less time and then just go play violin. Like, the whole thing is absurd. That's the point, though. Like, it's dumb.
yeah.
But that's because they're petty and can't express themselves. And that's why they both, at different times, like the guy who doesn't want to be friends with Colin Farrell also gets emotional and like breaks down multiple times.
Right.
For brief little spurts. And then they basically like put the stone face back on and they're like, that didn't happen. And he goes back to cutting his fingers off.
Right.
But it's, you know what I mean? They just like can't. So they only know one way. And it's
silent
deep
aggression.
sadness. Yeah, right.
Really though.
Yeah.
With the other characters being like, yo, like you guys gotta make up.
Yeah, they're like, you guys love each other. And they don't show them as friends the whole movie.
Right.
So it is a little weird at the beginning. You're kind of just like, what's going on for a little bit?
Yeah.
You know, and then they kind of feed you more information about everybody as it goes on.
The way that they distribute what you know about your essential characters, like throughout is really was super effective
Yeah.
because you didn't really grow. None of the characters grew on you right away for the first like 3 scenes. You're like, until he gets yelled at the church, I like didn't really.
I think I like the sister right away.
Yeah.
Because basically she's the only person who's like smart.
Right.
Because
she reads.
Yeah. She's the only one who
the only reader.
isn't like a drunk that doesn't do anything all day. She sits and like thinks all day.
Right.
And she leaves. Within the movie, she leaves.
Yeah.
Because everybody's miserable.
You guys are all fucking stupid and miserable.
Yeah.
The important thing is actually not the fact that you're miserable in that point in time. It's how dumb you are to treat what you treat your misery with.
Correct.
That's like the whole thing.
She's like, like life could be better if we just like go to the island. And they're all like, we can't leave this place. This is where we live.
It's
like, what?
Yeah.
Of course you can.
It's like, that's fine, but like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I just love Colin Farrell so much. What a gem.
I love him in that movie.
He's great in everything.
Him and his furrowed brows for the entire movie. He's just furrowed, just like heavy, deep eyebrows. You're like, Jesus Christ.
It's tough work.
Yeah. The muscle strain is probably dense.
Now, I will say, people are saying that this is this guy's best movie, Martin McDonagh. I haven't seen any of his other movies.
So
that just
that
seems
means-
unlikely to me.
Oh, I think
Because In Bruges is supposed to be
think
great.
that
That's
because
the
this
first
is the first
collaboration
one.
with those three.
What is
I
it
mean,
called?
this is the first one.
If you're saying that if this was supposed to be the prettiest one, and this is the first thing that you've seen, wouldn't that
Prettiest? The fuck did
Or
I say?
best.
Prettiest to this guy.
What were you just saying about In Bruges?
Yeah, I mean,
What is that?
that's
what is
the
it
first movie
Uh-huh.
that they made together. The three guys, Colin Farrell, the old guy, whatever his name is, that actor, and the director.
Oh,
So this is like a return to the boys.
interesting.
But that's like an action comedy from what I gather. He also made 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. It was like a big Oscar hit a few years ago. Still haven't seen it. Seems great though. I just don't see how this is the best one because it wasn't this like masterpiece that it's being lauded as. Like I thought it was good and I would watch it again.
Would watch again for sure.
Yeah, but I just don't see it as this like critical darling. It's surprising to me, but it's doing very well. Colin won at the Golden Globes. I was very excited.
He's talking about masculine, repression stuff, and everybody's like, "Yo, we kind of like this movie," but nobody wants to talk about it. I think it's about It's
you
about
think
having,
like the Joe Rogan, Jordan Peterson
they're onto
crowd
it.
is really into this movie?
Yeah, they're like, "Hey, we kind of like this movie because he's cutting off his fingers, but he's also being sad about it."
Yeah.
Like I think that they're eating it up. And
And they're like, yeah, if somebody does you wrong, you burn their fucking house down.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's the best part about the movie is it circles right back to no, like I don't actually care. I'm gonna burn your house down. Like
Right. After all
it's
that,
like, actually,
he's like,
fuck you.
he's like, yeah, we're not friends. You killed my fucking donkey.
That was yes,
He's like, wait, you're an asshole.
exactly,
Yeah, it's like I'm glad you came to that conclusion because he was an asshole the whole time.
exactly.
Right. But then it's ironic because like it totally flips and he's really sad and he's like, dude, I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm going to come to your house at this time and I will burn your house down. And then he does. At that time, he's right on time. And the guy's like, oh shit, he showed up. And that's the weird thing. Nobody defends themselves at any time. Like there's no fighting, actually.
Right.
It's very interesting.
That's the point to be made is how non-confrontational
Right.
they were.
It's insane.
Unfortunately, I think they stereotyped Irish people a lot in this movie, and maybe that's why it's not that good.
It's made by all Irish people.
All right.
So I think,
So they're okay.
yeah. I don't think anyone would care either way. Frankly, who gives a fuck?
I fucking loved it.
I'll stereotype some Irish people right now.
It's
That's what I've been doing the whole podcast.
yeah.
Those drunk, sad losers, get some sun. You'll feel better.
I would actually.
It's called Florida.
This movie's super dank. I I can't wait to watch
was
it
pretty
again
good.
on a bigger screen,
it-
hopefully.
It grew on me like as I was watching it,
Yep.
and then right as it ended, I was like, "Wow, that movie was nice."
I rewatched the beginning of it after the first one.
It's a slow start.
Yeah.
You got to really lock in at the beginning. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. It's a little slow.
You got to lock in.
You got to give it like 20, 25 minutes, which is kind of asking a lot, but also it's a movie, so watch the whole thing.
That 25 minutes is literally like, it's like only 4 scenes, but it really...
You need it.
Two
to
of them
set
are
everything
slow,
up.
but they're like, it's a great time.
You need it, too. The movie can't be without the intro.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? But you got to lock in and know what's coming, and you'll love it. Unlike my girlfriend, who claims that I'm faking liking it just to upset her. She disliked it so much. I know you're listening. Whore. You dumbass whore. Just kidding.
Jesus Christ.
It was a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good ass movie.
That's what I'm saying. Give me that stupid.
Dank, for sure. I actually give it the same rating as The Menu, but for different reasons, obviously.
2 danks up.
Yeah, but 7 out of 10.
They're both 7 out of 10.
I think so.
Interesting.
If we were to
From
do
what
it,
you're saying, you like Banshees a lot more.
it's a hard 7 and then a light
You're doing
7 for the
Fantano scale.
for the Menu. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep getting further into
You're
the
just going to
ratings.
just change different rating systems every time.
Yeah,
That's actually kind of a good bit, though.
yeah.
For one episode, you're like 4 out of 5, and then the next one, you're like 88 out of 100, and then you're just like 3 stars. Don't even give a max. Just be like, this one's
This one's 2.5.
This one's 9 thumbs up. It's like, what?
Rate, review, subscribe, because I'll give you different ratings every time.
Yeah, not bad. But I do like the dank or not dank system as well.
Because that's the baseline.
Right.
If you're gonna ingest anything, just know if it's dank or not dank. Just like anything in your life.
I used to do like scale of 1 to like a word a lot.
Scale of a 1 to a word.
Like that would be the thing. I'd be like 1 to Charlie Sheen. Like, you know what I mean? Like stuff. I used to do that a lot.
Oh, you mean like 3 Ewan McGregors?
Exactly. Right.
Got it.
Yeah. It's like, damn,
I'm
that
really-
was like 3 Arnold Schwarzeneggers.
You really know what I'm working up to. Next season of Barry, I'm just gonna rate all the different things that happen in Barry, like stunts, guns, deaths. I'll rate the deaths like out of however many Bill Haters, but then I'll rate like the
Everything's
stunts 7
out
out of 10, or like change it for every rating
okay.
for the Barry review.
But what
'Cause
is
it's coming?
What's the Bill Haters scale? Like, what's the how many Bill Haters?
I don't know.
Okay. Best Barry moment?
Yeah.
You're like, that was an 8 Bill Haters.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't think I could do that if I do one every episode.
Well, no, there's a best per episode.
Got it.
And then, like, whatever the best per episode is, like, how out of 10 Bill Haters was the best.
Right.
Because there might only be a 6 Bill Hater best moment. But then there's a 9 Bill Haters. Plenty of times.
We've got to be hitting some kind of like pocket, some
have
kind
to
of
do-
analytic pocket by saying this Bill Hader this many times.
You'll have to do the Fonzie scale as well for
Yes!
Henry Winkler moments. Or whatever.
Yes.
I don't know what's going to happen next.
I don't either.
I bet they get out of it like that.
I hope they don't fall. I hope it doesn't fall off.
I bet you.
Because it might
it's-
happen.
No, there's no way. He won't let it.
That's true.
He has his grip around that show's throat. It's not going anywhere but better.
Yeah.
It's gotten better every year.
That's true.
You really love that show.
I think it's one of the best shows on television.
I agree. You should literally do a weekly
Barry update.
recap because I can't do single episode recaps. I mean, they'll be like 4 minutes long.
Oh, they'll be, yeah.
But you could do like
I could drag it out.
you could do it longer than the episode itself. Because you'll just be like, oh, dude, I thought that moment when like he got in the car and grabbed that chocolate was really symbolic of like when Jesus was on the cross. And I'll just be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
You just like throw shit out there and you're like, dude, no, they were saying that like capitalism's for MILFs. And it's like, what?
I definitely think that Sally's got a side gig as being a masseuse and she doesn't want to talk about it. And I'm telling you that because of the way that she came home from the gym when she said that she was at the gym in this episode. Because the last time she was at the gym, she had a completely different outfit on. She had a different towel.
And I saw a thing of oil on the back counter in the shot. So she has to be a masseuse. What's it going to lead to?
There's no... Anyways.
And then it's just like, that's the finale. She gives like Henry Winkler a hand job and Barry just kills them both and himself.
Oh my
And that's
fuck.
the end of the show. All right. Let's end the episode on this. Your prediction to how Barry ends.
My prediction to how Barry ends.
Series finale.
Entirely without this whole bit about Sally giving hand jobs. I really do think that entire show.
Yeah.
Barry's gonna die. He's gonna get killed. There's no way around that.
Really?
Yeah. That's how, and it'll end on that note too. And it might happen at this season actually. There's like no, even with all the protection that he has from being a Marine and having the ins with whoever it may be, like bad or good, somebody's going to end up getting to him, and you can't keep the show going without him.
But see, you're leaving out an important detail. Is that ultimately this show is still a comedy, and the way he's been getting out of stuff is just the cops being like, nah, it's the
guy.
It's the
He's a
black,
Marine.
it's the Chechen assassin.
Right.
You know, that there's levels of incompetence that are, you know, just played for humor in this show, but end up having real consequences in the plot.
Right.
He's going to walk no problem.
Right.
He can't start the season in jail. Like, if it just continues down that path, then what? This season's going to be him going through like a criminal trial? You know, like
that would be insane.
It would not. It would be stupid. That's not what this show is.
Because of,
then it just turns into a courtroom show.
right. Because of
They could
Better
make
Call
that funny,
Saul, I
but-
think that as something that makes those situations a little bit more dramatic, I think that they could work that in for a little bit. Like they could get him going to trial for like 20 minutes of one episode. You know what I mean? But it would be really fast, and it would be like...
But then what? He'd get sentenced to prison, and then he'd be in prison?
No, he would get out of it
Okay.
at the stand.
That could work, yeah.
And then he walks, you know, like
Maybe that's what it is, yeah.
But that doesn't... Yes, there's levels of incompetence, and they always circle back, but...
That's what I'm saying. He's going to end up getting the role on the TV show after all or something, and then like becoming a huge star.
That would be insane.
I feel like that's where it ends up.
That he ends up being a star?
I mean, here's my personal what I would love. I don't think it's going to happen. I would love it if he got big and then got cast as on SNL and he was just Bill Hader.
Oh my
Like
God.
that ended up being the reveal. Not like that became his name or whatever.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
he still
yeah.
goes by Barry Block, but he ends up doing like whatever. What's that character he did all the time?
Stefan.
Yeah.
I
Something
did not
like
think
that
of it like
would
that.
be really fun. But I don't think it'll go that way at all. I think it's going to have this like dark cinematic ending in some way. Because that's all he ever does. All his fucking post episodes when he would talk about it, he'd be like, yeah, I got that from this like French New Wave director in 1948's whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're kind of an asshole, but like it's working. The show's
Yeah.
great. So like, whatever.
Anytime I hear him talk about the show, he's calling back like, yeah, it's just like Scorsese influence. You're like,
Yeah.
okay. I get it, but you didn't have to, flex.
Well, he's not. He's not. That's why it doesn't bother me, because he's a
Right.
humble guy who just
Right.
really loves movies. He's a true cinephile.
Right. He's
He's talking about like Cecil B. DeMille and shit all the time. I'm like, that's way out of what I'm doing.
That's
You know
also
what I mean?
I think the reason why, not the reason, I think that's why it'll end on the note that I'm thinking is just because he likes the classics.
It's got to be some artsy thing. I think you're right.
Yeah.
But you think it'll be him dying?
It'll be a good death, like real good death.
All right. What does
Yeah.
that mean? You got to get a little more predictive here.
Like a dank rating of a death is
Okay.
what I'm saying.
Like 9 Bill Haters?
Yeah, no. Yeah. Like a perfect 10. His death has to be 10
10 Bill Haters
10
or it's not good?
10 Bill Haters out of Barry Blocks,
Okay.
But
How many Fonzies?
on the scale, I would say it's like a 7 Fonzie out of 10.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of Fonzies. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be on the lookout for that.
Glad we're developing this.
Yeah. Anyway, we got to go watch Tom Brady potentially beat the Dallas Cowboys.
Is he going to?
Maybe. I don't know. The Cowboys suck, but the Bucks kind of suck. So we'll see. You never know in the playoffs.
The end draws near.
I could instantly dive into 20 straight minutes about the last few playoff games of the weekend, but I won't.
Let it rip.
We're going to get out of here. Justice.
We need a sports corner ASAP.
Thanks again.
Will you do a sports corner in Memphis?
We'll be back in 2 weeks. Most likely with some Memphis stories. Anyway, rate, review, subscribe to Requiem for a Tuesday. Let's get the ego continuing.
Exponential growth only.
And remember, I are fat, you are fat, we are fat. Calculator.